it's salves, and they're like, well, okay, what is a salve? And, well, it's a topical ointment. What is a tincture? It's a concentrated plant medicine that you take internally under your tongue. You can mix it with water, you can mix it with juice, coffee. And so it's a conversation piece.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the TF Cast.
Hey, Grum here. The date is August 2nd, 2023.
And I am your host, Jacob Bases. Today, we are so pleased to be back for the second time with Megan Schnitker of Lakota Made here in Mankato to talk about an update with what's going on in the business and what looks like an amazing success. Megan, please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what's been going on here at Lakota Made. Hi,
everyone. My name is Megan Schnitker. I am the sole owner of Lakota Made, and we grew. We're in a much bigger building. I forgot the exact measurement, but like it's 6 times bigger than the other space that you guys were in. Yeah, we're like not sitting on top of each other this podcast.
Yeah. And we're only using like 1/5 of the space. It's really a big, beautiful retail space. Mm-hmm. And you have your production space right behind here?
Yeah. Yep. So everything's like all on, our retail space doesn't even take up the whole room. We still have this false wall here that hides our little our employee hangout area, and then the bathrooms, and then the kitchen, and then the make area back there. And then upstairs in the make area is our dry storage and our shipping area, and then our product storage. So significantly bigger. We've added, I think, 80 or 90 products since the last time that we've talked.
Last time I just listened to the episode, there was 67 products, I believe, at the time.
Yeah, and I think we're close to 200.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, and which is a lot.
No
So yeah, we've been busy since we had the growth in the space. That's where I'm like, oh, I want to try this out. I want to do this product. I want to try that. I want to do that because I have the space. And so that's kind of like what we went crazy with. And so we added a makeup line, we added a merch line, and we added like infused oils, we added bath teas, we added way more salves, we added a whole bunch of soaps, conditioner bars, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Was that always part of the vision, or did some of that come with just having the opportunity to have more space and like more production area?
All of that. Like the ideas for products, especially with like plants and things like that, it's never ending. So you can mix and match products forever. And actually, we were just talking about this in the back previously, is that Chinese medicine is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. In order for them to actually diagnose people, you have to be like 80 years old. And then they consider you knowledgeable enough to diagnose people and give people the plant medicine. Where here we've lost a lot of it, and we only deal with, we have, I think, in-house less than 100 different species of plants. And we have come up with this many products. And so if we, and I have knowledge on 300 plants. So if we added all those 300 plants, we could have thousands and thousands of different products. And so it's like basically never ending. And then we always have people that message us or email us or call us asking for specific like ailments or illnesses or wounds, or send us pictures.
Like, oh, we've not seen this one before.
Yeah. Have you seen this before? Whoa. Well, you could have described it before you sent the picture. But so, yeah, we get all kinds of different, questions about different health issues because everyone is different. Nobody has the exact same biology, the exact same DNA, and we all have, we all react different to the environment that we live in. And so the illnesses are never ending, or the skin issues are never ending. And so, we have products that cover our multi-purpose and cover a wide variety of things. But there's always something new that someone, a group of people starts to grow larger where they need something specific. And so it's like, well, we could try this for them. We can make this for them. And so the product ideas, it's a large book.
Yeah.
It's a large book of ideas that we have.
Are there any examples of plant material that you're either wanting to get your hands on so that you can introduce it into a range of products, or maybe something that you got into since we last spoke that's had a big impact on either your ability to create like I don't know, a new product line, or like just refine some of the old ones, something like that?
So we've added quite a few plants since the last time that we've talked. We've added motherwort, mugwort, the wort family of plants for their antifungal properties, their anti-itch properties, a lot of the heart health, women's health type issues. And so we've added a lot of those plants. We've added a lot of anti-inflammatories. The amount of people that ask me for anti-inflammatories is insane, and they need them in different methods, whether it's a tea or it's a tincture or it's a salve or it's an oil. Pain relief is always a big one. People always have some sort of pain, and they can't, or it's internal, and so, or it's something that they need to take internally versus externally. And so we have different methods of pain relief, actually quite a few different methods of pain relief, because people always, that's a common thing. That's a huge common thing. And it's whether it's nerve pain or it's topical pain, it's muscle pain, it's bone pain, it's headaches, it's migraines, it's muscle spasms. I mean, the list is kind of endless. And so we have massage oils that are pain relievers. We have salves that are topical remedies that are pain relievers for muscles, for arthritis, for nerve pain is our newest one and one of our biggest ones. And then we also have tinctures that are internal that you take for pain relief for different things. So pain is always a big thing with people. And so are anti-inflammatories.
And what are some of the plants that used in those pain medicines that have a big impact? Maybe the active ingredient, or...
There's a few of them. So arnica flower is a mountain flower that is a big one, and so is like goldenrod, and so is nettle. Nettle is a huge anti-inflammatory, and it's like considered like a big superfood. And so stinging nettle specifically, not wood nettle. Wood nettle is medicinal, but not as great as stinging nettle. And so stinging nettle has lots of vitamins and minerals in it. It has a huge anti-inflammatory party, and so sometimes, or a majority of the time, people's pain issues come from some type of body inflammation. And so if you reduce the inflammation in the body, you're reducing the pain. And so that's a lot of the pain remedies. We also have Wahinkape salve, which is a nerve pain relief that deals with just not the anti-inflammatory, but the nerve pain issue also helps out with, has magnesium in it, because a lot of people are magnesium deficient, especially with the American diet. Everyone has some sort of nutritional deficiency. And so magnesium is a big part of it, and people don't really think about, we think that we can go get herbal supplements from the grocery store and we're going to be fine. Well, your body doesn't always absorb all of that, what's in those supplements. And so sometimes you need it to, your body's biggest organ, which is your skin, to absorb it better for it to actually work.
I've heard that a lot of times, like if you're taking a multivitamin, what you're doing is just like making designer urine, like, because it just mostly gets passed through.
Right.
I mean, I don't know anything about that, but it seems true.
It unfortunately is. If you're taking a multivitamin, that's a one-size-fits-all type method, and humans aren't one-size-fits-all. I think we're discovering that the older that we get as humans, and so your multivitamin's not going to work for me. I have a thyroid disorder. You probably don't. I have hormonal issues. You don't. And so for us to take one-size-fits-all medications or one-size-fits-all multivitamins, you are making designer piss and shit. So, I mean, which is not helpful because all you're doing is you're wasting all of that product or all of that supplement, and you're not really absorbing it, and it's not really helping. And so the best thing to do is start with basics. So a lot of our products don't have, especially our tinctures, that's one or two plants. Sometimes, especially if we're going for women's issues, which is a lot of hormone imbalances, there's 5 to 6 plants in there, but those are specific to hormonal imbalances. And so we have nettle tincture, we have goldenrod and nettle tincture. So we try to keep our recipes simple so that and targeted, and simple and targeted, so that people come in and they're like, give me the long list of issues that they may have. And it's like, okay, well, let's start here. Usually a lot of people come in and I'm like, all right, well, do you take nettle? Okay, no, let's start there. And then here's a pain salve for your body's aches and pains. And then we'll work our way from there. A lot of time it's just a basic vitamin deficiency or mineral deficiency in their body.
There is, I've heard you talk about it a few times. I feel like where it seems like a lot of the business that you do is probably online. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
How do you field all of these questions? I mean, it seems like from the way that you're talking about it right now that you're answering these people's questions directly. Like, how do you even manage what I imagine your influx of orders and questions to be is?
We hired a media Megan. Media Megan. There's this Megan, and then there's the media Megan, Megan Hickok, that we acquired from KEYC a few months ago. She comes in and she manages our social media and our website now, and so she has helped me out with my massive influx of emails that I receive. She helps filter them, and sometimes if she can, if she's seen me answer it enough, she will go ahead and answer it. But we try and put as much information in our product descriptions as possible so that people can read through this and decide if that's the product for them or not. So is obviously a huge learning curve when it comes to our traditional medicines. And it's a lot of reading. And so we try and answer as many questions, or we, with the emails that we get or the phone calls or the social media messages, we try and, go with the most asked questions and try and answer them in our product descriptions. It is a lot of questions, but in September, it'll be our 4th year. And so in our 4th year of Lakota Made, I think we've done really well with building our website and giving people information, as well as our social media, always having some sort of educational piece to our products. You mentioned how this is going into the 4th year. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the brand history and what some of the as you've moved through these different phases of online and retail space, because you vend out a lot too, what have the things that pushed your growth been, and what have the kind of the milestones and challenges along the way been? Yeah, we do vend a lot. I just spent a month of vending. We were going through my schedule and I was just like, oh my God, I got 2 weeks off, 2 weeks off from camping. But vending is a huge part of it. And our growth comes from a lot of online sales. I would say our online sales are probably 60 to 70% of our sales, except for when vending season, which is the worm seasons, then it balances out. It's kind of give and pull out which one does more for as far as revenue and growth. Because powwow season is when we do a majority of our powwow weekends. We do a huge chunk of sales at powwows or vending events, because we're kind of unique when we go to vending events. There's a lot of hats, there's a lot of scarves, there's a lot of jellies, there's a lot of vegetables. There's not a lot of plant medicine. And so, and there is an educational point that goes with our products. And so people don't just get to come pick up their carrots or or pick the best carrots out of all the other vendors, you know. It's salves, and they're like, well, okay, what is a salve? Well, it's a topical ointment. What is a tincture? It's a concentrated plant medicine that you take internally under your tongue with. You can mix it with water, you can mix it with juice, coffee. And so it's a conversation piece. And as far as like growing, we have a steady, I don't even remember what the percent is, but it's a steady growth of like 40 to 50% every year we grow as far as like our online presence, our sales, our staff. We have 6, 7 staff. I got to think of them. I just saw all there. We had staff meeting this morning, and I think there's 7 of us. Wow. There's 7 of us if I don't include myself, so there's 8. We have a lot of part-times, and then we have 4 full-times. And so our growth feeds that many people, feeds that many households, creates jobs for that many people, which is awesome and amazing.
Yeah.
If you could make a salve for that, I'd take it.
Yeah, I did.
All right, maybe 2.
We're going to make stickers that's called, we have a salve for that.
Triple Balls is a media and event production company based in southern Minnesota. We specialize in multicam live streaming and sound and lighting for event productions. Contact us today to learn more, or subscribe online to join our newsletter and stay up to date about events and things going on in the area. Thanks for tuning in. Back to your show. Last we spoke, on that note, we talked about how you'd just, you'd kind of just gotten into some new markets. Like I think you mentioned a couple states that were really responsive even, and having, I'm not sure if that was for vending or if that was like part of your online, but what's been the reception like in the larger like US region? And I guess I'm curious about like how far you go when you're vending, as well as just like if there's any other ways that Lakota Made's appearing for people.
So for vending, we try to stay within 6 hours of Mankato. Okay. Because my youngest just turned 1. Sure. and traveling with kids is an adventure all by itself. And so we want to make sure that we're staying pretty close to Mankato. And so vending this year, we've basically stayed in Minnesota, South Dakota. We have some Nebraska, Iowa stuff set up for the upcoming holiday season. And our biggest states right now, I believe, are Minnesota, South Dakota, Texas, California, and Maine. Wow. Maine is a weird one because it's not that big, and you wouldn't think of Maine as one of our top 6 states, but it is, which is strange. But yeah. And so this year we did a lot more cultural events. We did more powwows this year than we did previous year. Last year we did a lot of craft vendor shows, and this year we did way more powwows. And we have more scheduled cultural events to vend at this year than we did last year. So it's kind of like, it's always a learning curve, and it's always an experiment to see where we're going to do good at. Craft and vendor shows, where we did a lot of different ones this year, rather than the same ones. Last year we did a lot of Rochester area. We did a lot of cities ones. Last year we were at Pride. This year we forgot to fill out the application for Pride. But this year we did a lot more cultural events, a lot more powwows, which is awesome, because that's my favorite place to be. Yeah. Yeah.
At some of those events, what are the conversations like that you're able to have with people? And I guess I'm curious about if there's a connection with people you're meeting at these things, and like what the conversations are like, what the response is to I guess your business in this sense as well. Like, what are some of those conversations like that you're able to have with people? I guess I'm imagining indigenous people who are in different places in terms of their like connection to their indigenous roots.
Yeah, it's a lot of reintroducing people reintroducing people to our plant relatives. It's
Okay.
a huge part of not just indigenous people, but people from all backgrounds, of reintroducing plants to them, because that's what we
Yeah.
all used to have 150 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
Not that
I mean,
long
grocery
ago.
stores aren't that old, you know,
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals aren't that old. And so it's always reintroducing people. That's a majority of my conversations with people,
Okay.
and not just myself, but my staff. That's a majority of our conversations, is reintroducing people to plants, what they do. People are like, oh, I just spray that stuff out of my yard. What do you mean dandelions are edible?
Yeah.
What do you mean you can use that for wound healing? And it's just like, well, yeah, absolutely. It's taking away the 100 years, 150 years, 80 years of grocery stores and pharmaceuticals, of being like, yeah, all this stuff has a purpose. We've used it, not just indigenous people, but people from all backgrounds. This is where, that's what we used to eat. That's what we used to use as our first food, our first medicines. We used to have a better relationship with our food and our medicine, because that was what we ate. Our food was our medicine. And so it doesn't matter how they come to me or how they approach our staff. It's always that first conversation of, yes, that is edible. Yes, that's a plant. Yes, that's a tea. The funniest one was the lady that got mad at me and emailed me because there was leaves in her tea. Leaves and flowers in her tea. And I was like, I'm going to take that as a coffee email. And then a few hours later, she emailed me and told me to disregard her previous email with a couple laughing face emojis. And I was like, I don't know what you thought was in tea previously, but I'm glad we could laugh about that later.
I suppose you also get a lot of folks who are coming to you who are pretty frustrated with the medicines that they've been given.
Yeah.
Like what does that end up being like? It's I imagine it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same reintroduction to plants, but also you're kind of like some kind of counselor with people who are going through something that's not working. Is that something you experience often?
A lot. We get a lot of people that have been searching for relief in some sort of method for years in Western medicine and never found any relief, and tried something from us, and now they have relief, or now they found something that works for them, which is amazing. Our reviews on products is constant. We get reviews every day on different products that have given someone relief from something that they have been searching for years. And I am constantly reminded in my own health journey that Western medicine is hit and miss. And unfortunately, we have a God complex that goes on in our medical field. People that think that, doctors that have that God complex of they cure people, or they dismiss people so easy. And that's a huge frustration for everyone, not just myself, not just my family, but it's across the board. I don't know anyone that has had a great and amazing experience and was diagnosed or found a diagnosis right away. Sometimes it takes people years to get diagnosed with something. And they feel like they're going crazy because you go to ER with this ailment and an ER doctor's like, oh, it's childhood cancer. And it's like, whoa, because that's happened to us before. With my daughter, Arrow, she just turned 6 years old, and she was 2 years old and had this crazy, crazy leg pain where she couldn't walk. We took her to ER, and an ER doctor, without any blood work, without any x-rays or MRIs or CAT scans or anything like that, was like, oh, well, it's childhood cancer. And it was like, we lived with that for 2 weeks before her primary was like, it's not childhood cancer. I don't know what it is. And here's a referral to a neurologist. And she was 2 years old. She just turned 6. We still don't have a diagnosis, but she still lives with this pain. And it's nerve pain, and we have no rhyme, reason, or cause for it. But the only thing that really gives her relief is hot and Wahink salve. And so we have no idea what's wrong with her, but we've gotten some crazy diagnoses with our children. And it's just like, and I know I'm not the only one because I'm a part of like multiple Facebook groups where people are like, what's wrong with me? They're reaching out into social media asking for answers. And every time I get a message or email from someone like, thank you for, I've been searching for relief from this for years and I tried your product and it worked. And it's always humbling. And I'm not a person to brag, but I'll brag about my reviews because they're pretty cool. They make me feel good every day to give people a sense of relief. For whatever they're looking for. And it's also always an awesome feeling.
Yeah. And it seems like from listening to you talk about it that, I mean, you provide all these products, but I mean, you also interface with all of this Western medicine as well. So it is, when you say it's hit and miss, sometimes it does also hit. So I would wonder, have you like had any, like do any like doctors like use your I've had people recommend your products to me. I don't go to the doctor, but but I've used a number of your products, and like lead plant was a really good one for me. It like cured some of the thing on the back of my hand. I had like something, I spilled some chemical on it and it just never healed, and that fixed it. But I was wondering if you've had any like people on that side be like, hey, like, what is this like worked for my person? Like, what are you using?
My kid's pediatrician.
Oh, wow.
He was like, what are you using on her eczema? And I was like, the stuff that I make. And he was like, I've never seen eczema clear up that fast. And I was like, and so he recommends it. We have quite a few customers that have recommended it to their doctors, and now their doctors refer them to our website for different things. Well, we gave you all these steroid creams and all this stuff, and I don't know, but maybe you should try this stuff from this one native chick in Minnesota. It's just like, okay.
That's the Hail Mary. Like,
yeah.
I guess, if you're trying everything, you might as well.
Yeah, and it is, and it's I feel bad because there's so many.
Well, and for a lot of people, it would make a better starting place, I imagine.
Right. At least, they've tried everything under the sun. And then we think about it. How many thousands of dollars have we spent on products promising the sun, and we get dirt? And so, or promising the stars and we get nothing. We get another rash because it didn't work, or we're not quite sure what that ingredient is. But everything is pretty pronounceable, and you can find all of our ingredients outside. And it's where people should start first, but we've been so brainwashed by all the other big corporations that make billions of dollars off of us when all this stuff grows outside. And they kind of want us to quit looking around outside, and they want us to spray it, and they want us to get rid of it. But it's actually here for a reason. It's here for us to use because we're not different from nature. We're a part of nature, and we forget about that.
Have you ever had any like problems or frustrations with like people claiming like you overpromised, or are there any like strict guidelines of things you have to make sure not to say because it's not like Western medicine?
Oh yeah, the pharmaceutical company will come get me if I say certain words on our website. So I have to be super careful. I can't say treats, cures, or I think, or list certain medical terms. So I can't say eczema. I can say eczema. There's a certain list of stuff. Like I can't say influenza.
Oh.
I can't say coronavirus. I can't say. There's a lot of things that I cannot say. And then usually when people start asking me medical questions, I'm like, sorry, dude, I can't. You asked a medical question and I have to refer you to your doctor. Or they say the C word, the cancer word. I can't say that word. I can't answer any questions of that because if you screenshot this and send it to your doctor, the pharmaceutical companies will come after me. I can't do that because they make $9 billion a year on the cancer industry.
Does getting like your stuff FDA approved or anything like that bypass any of that?
No, because I don't have the kind of money to play the FDA.
Yeah. Okay.
If you got the money to play, then they'll approve you for anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But if you did have the money to play, you could bypass some of that and say like, for sure, this treats blank, but...
Yep.
Okay.
If I had the right lawyers and a few $1 million, I'm
Yeah.
sure I could play that game.
Yeah, the FDA is crazy, especially because it's just appointed people. It's such a, oh yeah, we don't have to get in the FDA.
Yeah. I think that's a separate podcast.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. If I could create another world where this stuff wasn't, I didn't have to be careful. That would, I'm sure, help a lot more people.
Yeah.
I would love to help more people because that's the goal.
Yeah.
My goal isn't to be Jeff Bezos. My goal is to save the world. And I don't care if I live in the same house or my car is 10 years old. I don't care. I just want to be able to help people, and I want to make sure my kids have what they want. And that's my goal in life.
Love it.
Yeah. So what does that look like for the people here in Mankato? I imagine when you say save the world that you have a wider vision than, I imagine some of that actually isn't just the people who live on the earth, but the earth itself to some degree. I mean, we're all living on a hotter planet now. And I guess I would wonder, what you see as the future for here in Mankato, and like how people here have also welcomed you, and like what that experience is like.
I love Mankato. Mankato is always going to be the home base for Lakota Made, just because this is the community that Lakota Made started in, and this is the community that accepted us so much, accepted me. I say us because we are now there's 8 of us now. And so we'll always be in Mankato, and Mankato will always be our home. And as far as like save the world, absolutely. I want to bring more manufacturing jobs. I want to not have to order from Uline my jars. I wish they were made here. I wish that we could have more hemp textiles here. And so whether that's manufacturing here in Mankato or it's over on the reservations where there's third world living conditions, I want to do that. I want to make sure that, our hemp, our glycerin is USA made or reservation made or Mankato made. Anything that is Mankato or reservation made, that's honestly my goal. I don't want to have to see that my cardboard labels are made in China. I want them to be reservation made or Mankato made. That is my goal, is to help people that I can touch rather than, people that are closer to here, because things that are made in China aren't most ethically made. And so I would like people to have a living wage, being able to support their family, and not have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week to do that. I would like people like living at or working at Lakota Made. We were just laughing that don't tell my accountant I ordered berry blends again today. For everyone here or for staff meeting, we passed around my phone to order DoorDash from Tandem Bagels because our brains weren't quite firing and we needed coffee. It's not, I want everyone to be able to have fun, and I want everyone to be able to afford the lifestyle that they want. And I think that is the goal of myself and my family and Lakota Made, is to be able to say everything. Yeah, you can go visit the facility that thing is made in, that label is made in, that glass jar is made in, and see that the people are happy and well taken care of, and that they have things that they need, and they don't have to do a GoFundMe to get tires on their car, or to fix the alternator on their car, or to replace the windows or the doors on their house. The goal is to make sure that everyone, but still make our products affordable. Everything in here, minus the merch, is under $50. I mean, all of our medicines are under $50, and we have a lot of stuff that's $5, $10.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to, when I first started, I got a lot of flack from other herbalists that we were undercharging our stuff. And I'm like, but you go get these plants for free. Why are we charging $40, $50 for an 8-ounce jar of salve? That's insane. That's insane to me. I want people to be able to afford and get our medicine, because that's what it's there for. It's not there not just for the super rich or the people that can afford it. Everyone should be able to afford it.
And it seems to have worked because of how, much online business that you're doing. People must be, I mean, I haven't seen any like ads, so I assume it's word of mouth that it's working out so well.
We spend maybe $800 a month on ads. That's a lot, but it's not in the grand scheme of things. There's people that spend that a week, which is crazy.
Yeah, or I'm sure I've been offered Hulu ad campaigns starting at like $600. I get those emails.
Yeah.
You can spend a lot on ads.
You can, and it's like you can, but then is that really reaching the people that need to see it, or is that just random views on the internet? Because I do scrolling and I slip right past lots of ads all the time, and it's just like ads are great and amazing, but is it really reaching the people that needs to reach? No, organic reaches the people that you need to reach, because people share your stuff all the time. And Emily was like, right before we started, she was like, "Did you shut your phone off?" I was like, "Yes, I shut my phone off." She's like, "'Cause your phone's going crazy." I was like, "I know." Media Megan posted something, so we get that every time someone shares our stuff, comments, likes, my phone dings, and so it dings a lot, which is cool. Which is cool. Some days it's just like, oh my God, I got to put that thing on vibrate. But organic reach is the best versus ads. Ads help, but they're not the basis of what we do. We do a lot of word of mouth, a lot of organic reach, a lot of organic shares. Lots of people drag their friends in here. Bring groups of people in here, which is awesome. And then we have the random calls of, "Hey, are you guys going to be open this day? Can 40, 50 people come in the store?" Yeah. I think so. I think so.
Yeah, don't call the fire marshal.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned you're investing in the area here, which I think is awesome. Choosing to keep Mankato as a home, and I guess. I had a question. Oh, you were involved in a number of organizations last we spoke, like the Mankato Revitalization Project and a couple others, I think. Are you still involved in some of those organizations, and is that part of how you see your involvement in the community here?
So I've slimmed down the amount of involvement that I've done, because as much as I love doing that, I need to focus on our ultimate goal, which is here. And so I still have Mankato Revitalization, and we do an after-school program for the local school district here. And we're getting ready to start that again this year. And besides Lakota Made and Mankato Revitalization, I'm not doing a whole lot in the community because we have a big thing that we are working on that, as far like really big thing, that we're working on that is taking a lot of my focus. Okay. Are
we going to get to hear it debuted here, or is that
in February? I hope to do a huge reveal as far as what we're working on. We talked about it and we've been working on it for a year. And we're really close to acquiring this huge thing. And so
sounds like a Megazord. So I'm
yeah. So it'll be really big for Lakota Made to do. It'll be a multi-state thing. And yeah, we're pretty excited about it. And it's just a lot of brain power and a lot of work and a lot of time. And so yeah, I kind of limited myself because as much as I love doing stuff in the community, and I still do stuff in the community, I still do, I'm still on the powwow committee for Mankato. I'm still on Indigenous Peoples Day committee because those are near and dear and close to my heart. But as far as like all of that, I really want to see this big move get done because it's more of like legacy work as far as for my kids and my grandkids, for multiple generations, being able to be taken care of and making sure that those big goals and dreams of having manufacturing, making sure that all of our stuff really is either reservation or Mankato made, that those things happen. And so
that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I understand too. I mean, it sounded like last we spoke, you were involved in a large handful of projects. Now it's just a slightly smaller handful. So I think that reprioritizing and being able to focus where you really can have an impact is super important too.
It is. And it was the growth into this building definitely refocused me as far as that, because I was going all over the place, all over town for different meetings and different events and things like that. And I was like, if I really want Lakota Made to work, I really need to be here. I really need to focus on it. As far as, making more recipes, more products, all of that stuff, I need to be here. And if I really have all these big goals and dreams, then why am I helping everybody else with their goals and dreams, which I love to do. But as far as like being selfish, I have to make sure that my goals and dreams are met as well. And so that's like my biggest thing is like, okay, I need to spend 5 to 10 years and really make sure, because I'm 40. I hit 40 and I was like, wow, that's a big number. Yeah. That's not far from 50. Like I really am not going to live forever. So I need to focus on my stuff. And that was it, this building and turning 40.
Well, I mean, I really do believe that the rising tide carries all ships. Like one of the things that we absolutely love on our podcast is when we can come back and visit someone who's like in the middle of a success story. And like, that's like the feeling around here. Like it's a bigger version of the same beautiful space and the numbers go up and your vision is coming into focus. So it's like a very exciting thing to be on this, should be developing street, and we see a lot of changes on the storefronts out here. So it's glad to have such a strong pillar,
It is. It's awesome to have like an actual storefront on Riverfront. Natasha gave us an amazing space to get our start. Because when Lakota Made started, it started in my house. And I was like, I want a storefront on Riverfront. I didn't care anywhere else in Mankato. I was like, I want a store in Old Town on Riverfront. That's my goal. So Natasha gave us the space in the Wooden Spoon building. And then we grew out of that really, really fast. And then we started shopping for a storefront. And even though Gus and my husband and Claire were like, I don't know. And I was like, oh no, it's going to work. It's going to work. And then I did it. And now we're here and it's like, oh my gosh, wow. Like you guys, I made all this up.
Yeah.
I made all this up. This is crazy. This went from kitchen table talks with my husband till like, I write paychecks every week.
Yeah.
And this whole building, I am responsible for this whole building. I am responsible for this whole building.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh. It is
still like a reality check in some ways too.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day when I jump in my car and I'm like, I am responsible for my time and multiple other people.
Yeah.
So
how does that pressure and accountability change the work?
The pressure is what gets me up in the morning. The pressure is like, okay, I have to make sure that I am using my time wisely. As much as I would love to go play in the woods all day, every day, I cannot do that. I have to be responsible for the kids in my house. I have to be responsible for the people that I employ and for the people that have become reliant on our products. And so making sure that we produce quality of products, making sure that the shipping gets done, making sure that the bills are paid, making sure that the paychecks are there, and that we're making the money to write the paychecks and pay the bills and pay the rent. And, that's a lot. And somehow every day I get a lot of it done. which is crazy because I
Yeah.
function in ADHD. And so everything is like, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Same.
Yeah. Google Calendar. If you don't send me an invite, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a good dose of learning how to use my ADHD, my OCD, my anxiety, and not letting depression run rampant with my brain. It's coming here and it's loving the environment that I have created. I don't know if you guys heard, but we laugh a lot here and we order a lot of food.
Sounds like a fun environment.
Yes, we love it. And so we laugh a lot. I enjoy the people that are here, and the people that work here enjoy being here. And that is huge. And being able to enjoy the people that you're around. That's a big motivation to come here. Emily texted me last night because I've been gone for a month in vending, and she was like, I feel like I haven't seen you. And I was like, dude, I know, it's been a month. Like coming here, packing and repacking totes, and then reloading and unloading, and then being like, oh, somewhere in there I have to do laundry and like water my houseplants. It's a lot, but I love all of it. Even all the stress, I have to love all of it, because if I don't love it and I don't take care of it, then it's gonna run crazy and then we won't be here no more. But I want it to be here forever. So every day it's a motivation, and it's a self-motivation is the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But holy cow, does it work when you're when you wake up every day and you're like, oh my God, I'm responsible for lots of people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here in Mankato making that investment and
Heck yeah.
help run an awesome shop down here over on Riverfront.
Well, it sounds like we're winding down a little bit. Do you want to tell people how to like integrate with, like, how they can connect with your store, your brand, your online presence, and all of your, dreams of making things better?
Yes. We're located at 606 North Riverfront, Mankato, across the street from the Nicolette Bike Shop. LakotaMade.com. Our website is the same. Our social media is Instagram and Facebook, Lakota Made LLC. And you'll see our lovely faces plastered all over that. And that's, our website is the best way to figure out how to get a hold of us. Our Google page is a good one too. And staying up to date with our social media for everything that we have going on. We did get a couple crabby people because we were closed today to record this.
Sorry everyone. Yeah.
I promise it's worth it.
We're enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we just have so much room to move around in here.
I know, we don't have to do this and be like, hey guys. Yeah. Our social media is like the best way to get a hold of us and stay up to date with everything that we're doing.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for joining us on the podcast once again.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming.